Sports presents the Major League Baseball Game of the Week. Today from Wrigley Field, it's the San Francisco Giants versus the Chicago Cubs. The Game of the Week is brought to you by the Miller Brewing Company, brewers of Miller High Life. If you've got the time, we've got the beer. By Ford and your Ford dealer, who invite you to test drive the 1982 Ford cars and trucks. By Gillette, makers of Atra and Just Whistle razors. Gillette's best shave for both of you. And by Avis, trying harder. It's still the best way to do business. Chicago, it's got to be your kind of town if you're a baseball fan on a beautiful Saturday afternoon and you're filing into Wrigley Field.
All right, everybody. Welcome to the Game of the Week. And we finally caught up to the actual calendar as I'm posting this on June 5th, 2021. And, of course, the game was played June 5th, 1982. So we got everything in sync. After starting the project a little bit late, based on the calendar, I had to put a couple games out a week just to try to catch up. So here we are, trying a different setup since the Stratomatic core game comes with a picture of Wrigley Field. I thought I'd try to use that, use some different accoutrements. I'm going to have the Giants and Cubs logos, and as they score runs, I will put their run totals right here. And the numbers up at the top is the inning. So obviously we start at the top of the first. When we go to the bottom of the first, simply just flip this upside down. It'll be more apparent when the other numbers are flipped upside down because one obviously looks a little bit interesting. Got the token here for the outs, and I've got my little base runners to determine or to show where guys are on base. So since I'm not going to be showing the score sheet, I do have it. It's right here. So let's look at the starting lineups for today's game. And Ryan Sandberg was a late scratch. He was supposed to start this game for the Cubs, but then he had some back spasms, so he had to sit out. And this is the actual lineup in today's game. Leading off for the Giants is Joe Morgan at second, Jim Wolford's in left, Chili Davis in center, Reggie Smith at first, Jack Clark in right, Tom O'Malley at third, Bob Brenly doing the catching, Johnny LeMaster is at short, and Rich Gale is on the mound. For the Cubs, Bump Wills will lead off and play second base. Larry Boa is a shortstop hitting second. Bill Buckner's at first. Leon Durham's in right field. He will bat cleanup. Keith Moreland's the catcher. He hits fifth. Jay Johnstone's in left field. He will hit sixth. Gary Woods in center. He hits seventh. Junior Kennedy is replacing Ryan Sandberg. And also they flip-flopped the lineup. Sandberg was originally scheduled to bat second with Boa eighth. Both Kennedy in there. They flipped it. And then Doug Bird on the mound for the Cubbies. So I will keep this game, or the score I should say, I will keep that out of camera and show it periodically if it's needed. But right now I'm going to try to do it this way, and hopefully it works out. Like I said, sometimes these things you think are going to work out and they don't work out in your favor, but what are you going to do? Dice color, I got the two orange dice for the Giants, the blue die for the Cubs. So those will be our dice for today's game. Doug Bird, starting pitcher for the Cubs. In 1982, he was 9-14 with a 5.14 ERA. So what we try to do is put the pitcher here and the batter right there. So Joe Morgan will be stepping up to hit against Doug Bird. And let's check the focus here. Looks like you got a little bit out of focus. So I'm going to see if I can help this a little bit. I think that helps. Now, for some reason it was blurry, and I don't know why. But I think it's okay now. Definitely don't want to put anything out there where the whole game is blurred. And you got to depend on my speech to tell you what's happening. I'm actually recording this the day before, so still on a Friday. So here we go. It is Joe Morgan stepping in against Doug Bird. And the game of the week, June 5th, 1982 is about to start. This is the last game of the Game of the Week, so where I know the schedule. Starting June the 12th, I just kind of had to look at the schedule. I looked at Baseball America, found out where the day games were on Saturday, and tried to figure out what seemed like to be the most logical one to show. And without having it in front of me, I believe next week's game is Cleveland and Boston. Yeah, at Fenway, but I could be wrong. Don't quote me on it. But I believe that's the June 12th game. Anyway, here we go. Top of the first, no score. And I will put the runs here once they start scoring some runs. Right now, it is 0-0, and I don't have a number 0 in front of me to put it down there. So we'll just go with what we have. Joe Morgan leading off against Doug Bird. We get a 2-8 on Morgan, and he's going to ground it to first. And taking that to the bag himself is Bill Buckner for out number 1. And I decided to use this token instead of those little red ones that Stratomatic gives you because they're just so small. Thought the yellow might be seen easier against the red and blue background. So that's one away. So that's why I'm using these yellow things. All right, I think I can sit down now. Looks like everything is in place as best I could get it. Next up is Jim Wolford, the left fielder, against Doug Bird. 3-9, and that's trouble. 1-7 is a home run. 3, that is gone. Jim Wolford just cracked a home run, and just like that, the Giants are on the board, 1-0. I did fail to mention we have great weather at Wrigley this afternoon. So base hits, singles are 1-13 for lefties, 1-6 for righties, and home runs are 1-7 for everybody. But Wolford didn't need that help. He just took care of it himself. It's 1-0 Giants. Here at the top of the first with 1 out, and here's Chili Davis. We get a 6-5 switch hitter batting left. 6-5. That's a ground ball to second, and Bump Wills takes care of it for out number 2. And that'll bring up first baseman Reggie Smith, switch hitter. Reggie Smith. That's a 2-7, and a 2-7, a 1-5 is a double. 6-20 is a single. That is a double. So we have a double. And now I'm going to move this over here, I guess, because I'm running out of room to put my players. So there's a double for Reggie Smith. He is aboard. If I had room, I'd put the actual strat cards up there on base, but I don't. There's just not enough room for all that. Strat cards are too wide. All right, so a double for Reggie Smith, a 2-out double. He's in scoring position for Jack Clark, the right fielder. Oh, let me do this. I forgot to roll the Havoc roll. It's a 1, but there's no wild pitch rating, so Bird doesn't have to deal with that. Now Jack Clark can bat 4-6. That is a pop out to second, and that's going to end the inning. So nothing doing there after the home run. But the Giants take a 1-0 lead over the Cubs as we go to the bottom of the first. And on the mound for the Giants is Rich Gale. 1982, he was 7-14 with a 4.23 ERA. And with nobody on, I'll put them over here where they were. And Bump Wills will lead things off, second baseman. Second baseman Bump Wills. We get a 6-6. He's a switch hitter batting left. 6-6 is a fly to center. And there's one away. As Bump Wills is retired. Brings up Larry Boa, shortstop. 1-6, and he's going to ground it right back to Rennie Martin for out number. To Rich Gale for out number 2. Rennie Martin's in the bullpen, I think. So Rich Gale is out there, not Rennie Martin. Don't know where I got that name from out of the blue. Bill Buckner, Billy Buck, 5-4. That's a fly ball center field X. Center fielder for the Cubbies. For the Giants, center fielder is Chili Davis. He's a 2, E13. So kind of high error rate. See if we can get to it. Should get to it, but the error rate might give him troubles. 2-10, he will get to it. That's a 9, and he's an E13. There is no 9. A lot of numbers there in E13, but 9's not one of them. So he will put it away to end the inning. And that's going to do it for the Cubbies in the first. At the end of 1, it's 1-0 Giants. Now we move on to the top of the second. And Doug Bird back out. We'll be facing Tom O'Malley, third baseman for the Giants. Bird, 5-3 against the lefty O'Malley. 5-3 is a fly ball right field X. And for the Cubs, right fielder is Leon Durham. He's a 3-E13. So this is before he moved to first base. 3-E13. 3-18, he's got it all day long, but that 13 might be trouble. 13 and an E13. Nope. 12 and 15 and 17 were errors, but not 13. So Leon Durham makes a nice play. One down. O'Malley is retired. Brings up Bob Brenly, the catcher. Get a 4-5, and that's a strikeout. So Bird put it by Brenly for 2 down. Brings up Johnny LeMaster, the shortstop. 5-10, and that's a ground ball shortstop X to Larry Boa. Boa is a 3-E21. 3 and a 5. Should get to that. 3 and a 5 he does. And that's a 6 on the E21. There is a 6. It's an error on Larry Boa. So Boa boots it. And that puts the runner at first base with 2 down as LeMaster reaches on the error. And what it allows now is the pitcher to bat. Rich Gale, he uses pitcher hitting card number 6, so not a bad hitter. I don't think Boa's going to try anything with the pitcher up. He will stay put. Pitch from Bird to Gale. 3-4, and he's going to strike him out to end the inning. So even good hitting pitchers don't do all that well. So we go to the bottom of the second, and score still 1-0 in favor of the Giants. And Rich Gale back out. We'll be facing Leon Durham to lead things off here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 Giants. Here from Wrigley on a June 5th afternoon. 3-5 for Durham, and that's a ground ball to first. Reggie Smith will take it to the bag himself. 1 down. And that will send us to Keith Moreland, the catcher. For some reason, Jody Davis took him a while to get to be the starting catcher. They started with Moreland. Let him catch quite a bit. So here's Gale to Moreland. 4-4 against a right-hander. That's ground ball third base X. And for the Cubs, that's the Junior Kennedy, who's the replacement for Sandberg. He's a 3-E28. 3 and a 16 is good. E28 and a 14. There's a 14 is a 2-base error. So it's a 2-base error on the third baseman, Junior Kennedy. So another error in the game. I'm sorry, I was looking at Junior Kennedy. What was I doing that for? The Cubs are batting. Third baseman is Tom O'Malley for 2-E17. So let's see, 17. Let's take him out. 17 and a 14. Is that an error? No, it's not. So the 14 is a good play for O'Malley. Got confused there. Sorry, 2 down. 2 down and nobody's on as Moreland is retired on the nice play by O'Malley. Brings up Jay Johnstone. Might remember him from being on the Dodgers when the season started on the Game of the Week, but he has since been sent to the Cubs. I don't know if it was a trade or free agent or what it was, or if the Dodgers released him and the Cubs signed him. I don't know the whole particulars, but he's in there. 1-3, and he's going to foul out to Reggie Smith to end the inning. So 2 innings are in the books here at Wrigley with the score still 1-0. And we go to the top of the third. And coming up for the Giants will be the top of the order, Joe Morgan. Morgan grounded to first his initial time up. Wolford is on deck, and he's accounted for the only run of the game with his solo homer back in the first. So 1-0 Giants, top of the third is underway with Bird to Morgan. 2-4, and Morgan is going to have a ballpark single chance, which for a lefty is 1-13, and that is a 10. I don't know if that slid under the camera because I don't want to push this down too far, but that was a 10. So it is a base hit for Joe Morgan. He's aboard via the ballpark single. Now to get a jump, he needs a 4 through a 5, or 4 or a 5, I should say. 4 or a 5 to get the jump. And he does not, so Morgan will stand pat. Can't get the jump. And that'll bring up Jim Wolford. That's a 2-6 for Wolford. He's going to fly to center. And that's one out. As Wolford is retired for Chili Davis. Switch hitting center fielder. Grounded to second, his first chance up. Again, we'll roll the Havoc for Bird. Nothing happening. 3-7 for Chili, and that's trouble. 1-3 is a triple. That's a 2. So that is an RBI triple. RBI triple for Chili Davis, and the Giants now lead it 2-0 over the Cubs on the RBI triple from Chili Davis. And Doug Bird having his issues here at Wrigley in this game. 2-0. And now the Cubs are going to play the infield in with only one out. They will play the infield in. First we'll do Havoc. Nothing happening. Infield is in. 1-3 is a foul out to the catcher, so Moreland puts it away in foul territory for out number 2. Now the infield can go back to normal for Jack Clark. The dangerous Jack Clark. Nothing on the Havoc. Hope that orange die, one of them didn't go through, so I'm going to re-roll the whole thing. They slipped right out of my hand. Would think I could handle 4 dice without that too much trouble. Let's try it again. 3-6, and that's a ballpark home run chance, but that's a 14. The home runs are only a 7, so that's just a deep fly to left. Would have been a sac fly with less than 2 outs, but that's going to do it. That's going to end the inning, or end the top of the third, I should say. But the Giants pick up another run on the RBI triple from Chili Davis and lead the Cubbies 2-0. So Rich Gale back out with that 2-0 lead to start the bottom of the third. And he'll be facing Gary Woods, Junior Kennedy, and the pitcher spot, Doug Bird, here in the bottom half of the third. As Gale has retired all 6 he has faced. 5-3, that's a fly ball left field X. Left fielder, Jim Wolford, is a 3-3. So can he get to it is the question. 3-17 he does, and that's an 11. Don't think that should be a problem. It is not. So nice play for Wolford. 1 down. Gary Woods is retired. Here's Junior Kennedy. We get a 4-4. Gale, ground ball third base X. That's O'Malley. O'Malley is a 2E17. 2 and a 15 is good. E17 and a 6. There is no 6. It's a good play for O'Malley. 2 up and 2 down, and that's going to bring up the pitcher. Hitting off pitcher hitting card number 2, and that's Doug Bird. Gale to Bird, 1-4, struck him out to end the inning. So Rich Gale, perfect through 3 innings. We go to the 4th. It is still 2-0 Giants over the homestanding Cubs. And Doug Bird back out. His fatigue is a 6, so he's okay. Rich Gale also has a 6 fatigue rating. Tom O'Malley, the batter. And O'Malley flew to right his first chance. Top of the 4th, 2-0 Giants as we're underway. Top of the 4th. Bird, 2-12. O'Malley, that's a single. There's an Omega, but we're not doing the clutch in this situation because there's nobody on base and there aren't 2 outs. So O'Malley reaches. He is no threat to steal. They will hold him on because pretty much everybody gets held on in baseball. So I'm not going to try to game the system by not having him held on. So he will be held on. And let's see here. Havoc roll. The only thing that can happen on a Havoc roll is there could be a pass ball on Moreland because Bird doesn't have balks or wild pitches, but Moreland can have a pass ball. Brenly, 3-4 for Brenly. 1-3 is a home run. 4-20 is a fly to right, and that is a 19. That is a fly to right field, 1 away. So Brenly got into it, but not quite deep enough as Leon Durham went back to the ivy to make the catch. 2 down, or 1 down rather. Here's Johnny LeMaster. He reached on the error by Boa his first time up. 5-9, and that's a ground ball to shortstop X. So Boa gets another chance. Boa gets another chance. And Boa is a 3E21. 3 and a 6. 3 and a 6 for Boa is a G3, so the runner's going to advance. That's a 13. He's an E21. No error this time around, but the runner will advance, so it's going to be a 6-3 ground out with O'Malley going to second base. So O'Malley will make it to second base now with 2 outs. And that's going to send us to the pitcher, Rich Gale. Gale struck out his first chance, hitting off pitch hitting card number 6. Havoc, nothing going on. We get a 3-7, and a 3-7 struck him out to end the inning. So Bird pitches around a little bit of a mess and gets out of it. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Still 2-0 in favor of the G-Men. That's what they call the football Giants. I don't know what they call, if they call the San Francisco Giants G-Men or not, but they're Giants, so we'll just call them Giants. How about that? All right, top of the order, Bump Wills flew to center his first chance. Rich Gale. 2-3, and that's a leadoff walk for Bump Wills. See if he can get something started on the bases. Bump Wills can get a jump on a 2 through 5 or a 10. 6, he cannot get the jump, so Bump Wills will stand pat. Here is Larry Boa, shortstop. 2-8 for Boa, and that's a single 2 stars. So that's going to put runners at the corners. Runners are at the corners with nobody out. And back come the Cubbies. Larry Boa, no threat really to steal. He stole 8 bases on the season, got caught 3 times, but I think in the middle of this rally, you want to keep the line moving. You don't want to take a chance of getting thrown out, so he will stand pat. He will be held, but he'll stand pat. Giants playing the infield back. They will trade 2 outs if they can get them for a run. So here's Buckner. Buckner flew to center his first chance. Do it again. It might be a sac fly. We got a 5-12, and that is a ground ball first base X. Ground ball first base X, and that is Reggie Smith. He's a 4E30. 4E30. 4 and an 11. How is that going to play? 4 and an 11 is a G3. Means the runners are going to advance, and that is an 11 on the D6s. And he is a E13. He is an E30. 30 and an 11 is an error. 1 base error. So it's going to be, not only will the ground out take effect there, but he actually reaches on the error. So not only will the runner advance there, but with the error, the runner goes to third. And Buckner's at first. And the Cubbies are on the board, as they have cut the lead now to 2-1. And there's still nobody out. So E3 will score Wills. He would have scored anyway on the ground out. Boa went to second on the ground ball, but then went to third on the E3. So second and third, nobody out. And Leon Durham, the batter. Giants still going to play the infield. Well, actually, he's at second, isn't he? Because on the error, he's at second. My bad. No, he's at first. It's only a 1 base. It wasn't a hit. It was an error. Would have been a ground out. So he is at first. It's the other runner that's at third. Okay, got it straight. So Buckner will be held. He was a pretty decent base stealer back in '82. Stole 15 bases. He's not going to try to go anywhere, but he will be held. And here's Durham. And again, the infield will play for the double play if they can get it. That's a 3-2 for Leon Durham against a righty. And that's a split chance with the triangle. 1-6 is a single, but that's a 13, which is a line out to second. And that's 1 away with nobody advancing. So Gale caught a break there, 1 down. And now a double play gets him out of the inning. Nothing on the Havoc. Here's Keith Moreland. 4-10, and that is a ballpark single check, which for a right-hander is a 1-6, but that's a 13. So again, another line out, this one to short, and the base runners still have to hold. So Cubbies leaving the runners at the corners for the last 2 outs. Now the infield can go back to normal, and Gale can try to get out of this thing. Facing Jay Johnstone, 6-8. And he will to fly to right to end the inning. So 1 run comes in. It was earned because it would have scored anyway on the ground out. But they could have had a lot more, obviously. So at the end of 4, it is the Giants 2 and the Cubbies 1. And we go to the top of the 5th. Top of the 5th, and let's see who's going to be coming up for the Giants. It'll be top of the order, Joe Morgan. So Joe Morgan is up to lead things off. He is up, and Morgan is grounded to first, and he's also singled and scored. 2-1 Giants, top of the 5th. 2-2 for Morgan is a ground ball to first. Bill Buckner will take it to the bag himself, 1 away. 1 down, that brings up Jim Wolford. He's homered and flies to center. That's a 3-5, and Wolford's split chance 1-4 is a triple, but that's a 10. So that's a fly ball to left field. So he got up under it and hauled in there by the left fielder, Jim Wolford. 2 down. I'm sorry, by the left fielder, Johnstone. 2 down, and here's Chili Davis. Jim Wolford cannot catch his own ball. I don't think that would be feasible, unless he's Mr. Perfect. Here's Chili Davis, 2-3, and he's going to ground it back to Bird. So it's an easy 1-2-3 inning for Bird. We go to the bottom of the 5th, still 2-1 Giants in the lead. But at Wrigley, anything can happen. For the Cubbies, it'll be Gary Woods to lead off against Rich Gale. We will have Woods, Kennedy, and the pitcher Bird. Woods, Kennedy, and Bird are up here in the bottom of the 5th. 2-1 Giants. Here on the Game of the Week on June the 5th, 1982. Uploaded and put on June the 5th, 2021. Gary Woods, 3-5, and that's a strikeout. So Woods is out of there, 1 away. That will bring up Junior Kennedy. 1-2 for Kennedy is a walk. Kennedy draws the 1-out walk, and now the question is, well, you know he's not going to try to go anywhere, but will Bird try to bunt him over? Bird on his bunting is a B, becomes a C bunter. So I think he will bunt. He becomes a C bunter. First, we'll make sure there's nothing on the havoc, and there's not. So he becomes a C bunter, and that is a 10. That could be interesting. C and a 10 on the sacrifice bunt chart is a pop-up. So he pops it up, and the white die being a 6 means it's to the third baseman. So Bird pops it up to O'Malley for out number 2. Runner gets back, but the sacrifice could not get done. And with 2 outs now, it's up to Bump Wills to keep it going. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Gale to Wills. Wills has flied to center, walked, and scored the only run of the game for the Cubs. 3-10, and that's another ballpark single check. Lefties, 1-13. That's an 18, though, so he lines it to second, and the inning is over. So we've done 5 here at Wrigley with the score. Still Giants 2 and Cubs 1. Top of the 6th we go. Doug Bird back out, and this is his fatigue inning, number 6. Same with Gale coming up. That'll be his fatigue inning as well. And we're going to have Reggie Smith. I'm sorry, we're going to have Larry Boa, Bill Buckner, and Leon Durham due up. Not Doug Bird. Why did I put him up there? Rich Gale, not Doug Bird. Doug Bird says, don't make me pitch twice. No, wait a minute. It is the... Wait, what am I doing here? Yeah, Wills made the last out. Okay. I got it straight. A little bit different, so I'm a little bit out of sync here maybe. So it is going to be Reggie Smith that leads it off against Doug Bird. 2-1 Giants, top of the 6th. Reggie Smith doubled and fouled out to Moreland, the catcher. 1 for 2. 6-5, switch hitter batting left. 6-5 is a ground ball to second, and Bump Wills will put that away. One down as Reggie Smith is retired for Jack Clark. He has popped to second and fly to left, 0 for 2. That is a 6-5, and on Bird, that's ground ball to third. Kennedy is there, 2 down. So Bird settling in after a rough start. Well, semi-rough start, I guess. Here's O'Malley. He's flied out to right and singled. 1-6, and he's going to pop it up to Wills. An easy 1-2-3 inning turned in by Doug Bird. So he can stay out there a little longer with no fatigue penalties because he didn't give up anything. So now, bottom of the 6th we go, and Rich Gale, this is his fatigue inning. He will be facing Boa, Buckner, and Durham. Numbers 2, 3, and 4 for the Cubbies as they try to dip into that 2-1 lead. Boa leading off, he's 1 for 2, single, and a grounder back to Gale. 4-3, and that's going to be another ground ball back to Gale. It's ground ball pitcher X. He's a 2-E-8. 2 and a 9 should be good. E8 and a 3, that could be interesting. E8 and a 3 is a 2-base error. Unbelievable. 2-base error on an E8 for the pitcher. It is a 2-base error with the number 3. So a 2-base error on Rich Gale. Yet another error by the Giants. That's their second error of the game. Reggie Smith had one back in the 4th. And so Larry Boa is at second base with nobody out on the 2-base error by the pitcher, Rich Gale. So it was his own doing. He has no one to blame but himself. And now that brings up Bill Buckner. Buckner also reached on errors last time up. He's 0 for 2. Nothing on the Havoc. Gale to Buckner, 1-4 for Buckner, and that's a ballpark single check, but that's an 18, so he's going to line it to second. And nobody moves up. They were hoping at least he did a ground ball to the right side to move the runner to third, but that just didn't happen. Now here's the bull, Leon Durham. He's grounded to first and lined to second. Nothing on the Havoc. 2-6 for Leon Durham, and that's trouble for Rich Gale. 1-6 is a triple. That's a 9, not a 6. That is a 9. So 9 will be a double, and that will score. We'll just leave the guy right there. That'll score him, and it's now 2-2. So tie game on the RBI double from Leon Durham. It's an unearned run, but the Cubs will take it. They don't care. Tie game at 2 on the Leon Durham double. And now that brings up Keith Moreland, and Moreland 0 for 2. Grounder to third, and a liner to short. Bullpen activity for the Giants as they're starting to stir down there. Gale 110 to Moreland, and that's a foul out to the catcher, Bob Brenly, for out number 2. So Moreland couldn't get the job done, but Jay Johnstone might. He's 0 for 2. He's popped to first, and he's flown to right. That's a 2-8 for Johnstone. He strikes out to end the inning. But we are tied after 6. We are tied at 2 here from Wrigley. And we go to the 7th. Top of the 7th. And it will be Doug Bird back out because he had nothing against this point of weakness last time. Can't say the same for Mr. Gale. He may be out of here. He is set to bat third this inning, so I think they're going to pinch hit for Gale and make a move to the bullpen. So we'll look at the pinch hitters the Giants have available, and got a bunch of lefties. They have Darrell Evans, Dave Bergman, Max Venable, and Champ Summers. A whole bunch of lefties. But it looks like Darrell Evans will be the guy that gets the call. So Darrell Evans will pinch hit for Gale. So it'll be Brenly, LeMaster, and Evans due up against Doug Bird. Top of the 7th, tied at 2 here at Wrigley. Bird to Brenly. Brenly is 0 for 2. He struck out and flew to right. 1-4, and that's a ballpark single check. That's a 5. 1-6 is a single. That's a 5. So Brenly gets a ballpark base hit from Wrigley Field. He is on. No, well, he does have a threat to run, really. So, but he's not going to try it. He will be held, but he did steal 6 bases on the season. And here's Johnny LeMaster. He is a B bunter. So LeMaster's going to look to lay one down. The defense, of course, playing the corners in will make him a C bunter. So he's going to be a C bunter. Looking to lay it down. That's an 8. C bunter and an 8. C bunter and an 8 is a good sacrifice. The white die is a 3. That's to the catcher. So in this case, Keith Moreland will come out from behind the plate, field it, and throw to Bump Wills covering first base. And a successful sacrifice is in place. So now runner is at second base with 1 out for the pinch hitter, Darrell Evans. Darrell Evans, the pinch hitter for Rich Gale, as the Giants try to take the lead or get back the lead that they lost. So Evans stepping to the plate against Bird. 4-6 for Bird. Ground ball first base B. Don't really worry about the B. If it's to the right side, the guy on second is going to go to third automatically. So ground ball to first will move the runner to third, but now there are 2 outs. So I'm sure Evans not too happy about that, as he wanted to drive the run home. But now it's going to be up to little Joe Morgan. He's got the opportunity to give the Giants the lead with a base hit right here. Nothing on the havoc. Here's Morgan. Away the pitch from Bird. 1-6, and Morgan's going to come through. 1-4 is a double. 5-20 is a single. That is a base hit, and that will score. That will score Brenly, and the Giants take a 3-2 lead. RBI single from Little Joe, and the Giants take a 3-2 lead. Little Joe can get a steal with or an attempt with a 4 or a 5. That's a 6, so he cannot. So he will stand pat. And that'll leave it up to Jim Wolford to see what he can do. Jim Wolford against Bird. 3-5. And 1-4 is a triple, but that's a 13. He flies to the left. I think he had a similar role early in the last at bat. But the Giants pick up a run here in the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch time here at Wrigley. The score is San Francisco 3 and the Cubs 2. And we'll take a short break while we get the administrative responsibilities of picking out a new pitcher for the Giants. And let's see, the Cubs have the bottom of the order. So Bird is done because he's set to bat third this inning. So Doug Bird is complete. He is finished for the day. And let's see who the Cubs have. They're going to have Woods, Kennedy. So mostly right-handers coming up. So with mostly right-handers coming up, the Giants, do they want to go with, they might want to go with their better pitchers, whether he's lefty or righty or not. So I think they're going to go with, Gary Lavelle, despite the lefty-righty thing, that he's just a better relief pitcher. So Gary Lavelle is going to be coming on, and he'll be facing Woods, Kennedy, and a pinch hitter. And the pinch hitter for the Cubs, they do have some righties on the bench. They have Jody Davis. They have Steve Henderson. Sandberg, I guess, could pinch hit in a pinch if it was totally necessary. He just can't play the field or run. I guess he could hit if he really wanted him to. Right now, the best guy they have available is Jody Davis. So I think Jody Davis is going to be the pinch hitter. It's going to be Woods, Kennedy, and Davis stepping up here in the top or bottom of the 7th, rather, after the Take Me Out to the Ball games have been sung. 3-2 Giants, bottom of the 7th. New pitcher is Gary Lavelle. And on the 82 season, Lavelle was 10-7, 2.67 ERA, and 8 saves. So he's certainly capable of pitching 2 innings. He's got a relief factor of 3. So he's capable of pitching, well, he's actually capable of closing the game, but Greg Minton's their closer with 30 saves, so they would like to get to the 9th with the lead if they possibly can. Gary Woods, the batter, he's 0 for 2, flew to left and struck out. 4-6 against the right-handers. A ground ball to third, and O'Malley is there. One away. Gary Woods is retired. Here's Junior Kennedy. Kennedy is 0 for 1 with a walk. 5-8. That's ground ball second base X. That's Little Joe. Joe Morgan's a 3 E10. 3 and a 15 is good. E10 and an 11 is good also. So it's good play for Little Joe. 2 down. And that's going to bring up the pinch hitter, catcher Jody Davis. He will pinch hit against Lavelle. 3-5, and he strikes out. So Jody Davis fails in the pinch. And we go to the 8th inning. And we'll need a new pitcher for the Cubs. So we're going to start the top of the 8th. It'll be 3-2 Giants. And a new pitcher will be called upon by the Cubs. For the Giants, they have Davis, Smith, and Clark, 2 switch hitters and a right-hander. So I think they're going to go to a right-hander out of the bullpen. And that right-hander will be Bill Campbell. So Bill Campbell, 3-6, 3.69 ERA and 8 saves. So Bill Campbell is on to try to keep things right where they are. Facing Chili Davis to start things off. In the top of the 8th. Lavelle, good to come back next inning as well. So Chili Davis will start it off. For Davis, he is 1 for 3. Had that big RBI triple in the 3rd inning, which at the time gave the Giants a 2-0 lead. Campbell, 3-9 to Chili Davis, and that's trouble for Bill Campbell as Chili Davis cranks a double to lead off the top of the 8th. He's tripled, and now he has doubled. So Chili Davis making life miserable for the Cubs as he gets a leadoff double. That brings up Reggie Smith. Check the havoc. Nothing happening. 1-5 for Reggie Smith. It's a 1-12 single. That's an 11. It's a single, but it's only 1 star. So that will put runners at the corners. And all of a sudden, Bill Campbell running into issues with runners on the corners and nobody out. And big Jack Clark coming to the plate. Bullpen again is loosening. They do have Willie Hernandez, the lefty, warming up in the bullpen. Infield's going to have to come in. They're down 3-2. They really can't afford to give up more runs. So they're going to bring the infield in. Here's the havoc. There's a 2, chance for a balk or a pass ball. We are checking the balk rating. Campbell's a 3. And it's a 19, so no balk there. So infield is in to Jack Clark. That's a 3-8, and it doesn't matter where they are because Jack Clark just deposited a 3-run homer. A 3-run home run, a blast from Jack Clark. And Bill Campbell looking a little soupy here as he's given up 3 runs on 3 hits right off the bat, and all of a sudden it's a 6-2 ball game in favor of the Giants as they've kind of blown this thing open. And Campbell's going to leave. He's going to leave without getting anybody out. So Campbell will leave, and that'll bring in Willie Hernandez, the lefty. Actually, Guillermo Hernandez, you want to call him that. 4-6 with a 3 ERA and 10 saves. So he's in there to try to keep it from getting any worse. We're facing a lefty, Tom O'Malley. So Hernandez facing O'Malley. Still nobody out as all 3 runners scored on the home run. 3-3 for O'Malley's a ground ball to first, and Buckner puts it away. 1 down. That will send up Bob Brenly. 1-8 for Brenly, and that's a fly ball to right field. 2 down. 6-2 Giants on the 3-run homer from Jack Clark that kind of took the starch out of the Wrigley Field faithful. 1-3 for LeMaster, and that's a walk. So the inning continues. And now with Lavelle is the batter. So I think they're going to pinch it for Lavelle. He's just going to go 1 inning. They will pinch hit for Mr. Lavelle. And we'll get a pinch hitter, a right-handed pinch hitter. And the only right-handed pinch hitter on the bench is a middle infielder named Guy Soulars. So that's who they're going to bring in as a right-hander, Guy Soulars. He will pinch hit. But with 2 outs and the bases empty, it probably doesn't matter anyway. .27, and he's going to walk. So Guy Soulars is a pinch hit walk. Keeps the inning going. He will be held, but he won't try to go anywhere. And that'll bring up little Joe with 2 outs. That's a 1 wild pitch, but he has no wild pitch rating. So lefty on lefty, Hernandez to Morgan, 4-5. Fly ball to left field to end the inning. But the Giants put up a big 3 spot here in the top of the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is the Giants 6 and the Cubs 2. Need a new pitcher for the Giants, as they just pinch hit for Mr. Lavelle. So the pitcher for the Giants. Let's see, the Cubs have top of the order, Morgan, Boa, and Buckner. So really some lefties coming up. So they're going to bring in Al Holland out of the bullpen. Al Holland, 7-3, 3.33 ERA, 7 starts and 5 saves, so kind of a swing guy. He will be on. Try to pitch the 8th inning. And then if it's close, they'll turn it over to Greg Minton. If it's not, they may just let Holland finish everything out. 6-2, bottom of the 8th. Bump Wills, the batter. Wills is 0 for 2. Flew to center, walked, and lined out to second. That's a 2-7 against a lefty. All these hits in column 2, and he found a ground ball to short. Just the kind of way it's been for the Cubbies, as LeMaster makes short work of Bump Wills. 1 down, and here's Larry Boa. He will turn around bat right-handed. 1-9 for Boa. He flies to left. 2 up and 2 down. So Al Holland may just finish this game out. We shall see. It's not a save situation, but he may not need it. Here's Buckner, 5-7. That's a 1-6 single, but that's a 17. Means he lines it to second. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Al Holland. And we go to the 9th with the score. Giants 6 and the Cubs 2. Top of the 9th. We go here at Wrigley. Now, do they want to have Hernandez, or do they want to bring somebody else in? They might bring in a new pitcher. We shall see. The Giants have Wolford, Chili Davis, and Reggie Smith due up. So if they might bring in a right-hander. Let's see what they want to do. They're going to bring in Dick Tidrow. So Dick Tidrow is coming in for the Cubs. He was 8-3, 3.39 ERA, and 6 saves in the 82 season. So Dick Tidrow is on to pitch to Jim Wolford. Top of the 9th, 6-2 Giants. Mostly in part to Jack Clark's 3-run homer. 6-12, and that's a ground ball pitcher X. That's Tidrow. He is a 5. He can't make an error, but he might not get to it. 5 and a 12. I think he'll get to that. 5 and a 12. He barely does, but that's all that matters. He does get to it. And Wolford is retired. So 1 down for Chili Davis. 3-4, and that's going to be a ballpark single check. 15 is too high. It needs a 13 or lower. So he's just going to line it to second for out number 2. And that sends us to Reggie Smith, the switch hitter. He's 2 for 4, single and a double. 6-5, ground ball shortstop X. That's Larry Boa. Boa is a 3-21. 3-19, he gets to that. E21 and a 14 might be trouble. Nope, 15's an error, but not 14. So Boa does make the play to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, and Al Holland's going to stay out there. Now, Greg Minton is loosening in the bullpen just in case Holland falters. But they're going to give Al Holland every opportunity to finish the game. Would not be a save situation because he's coming in with he came in last inning with a 4-run lead. But it could turn to a save situation for Minton if the Cubs get some base runners. So Leon Durham, the bull, is going to lead things off. He doubled his last time up. He's 1 for 3. First chance here against the lefty, though. 5-5, and that's a strikeout. So Al Holland puts away the bull. No bull there, 1 out. Here's Keith Moreland. That's a 4-11, and that's a fly to right field. Hauled in by Jack Clark. That's 2 down. Down to their last out, and it's going to be Jay Johnstone, but I think they're going to call Johnstone back. He doesn't hit well against lefties all that well, although his column 3 isn't bad. But they're actually going to go to a right-hander off the bench, Steve Henderson. So Steve Henderson, the right-hander, has got a great column 2. And I think just playing the percentages as you're managing the game, usually the managers will make a move like that and bring in a right-hander. So Steve Henderson is going to pinch hit for Johnstone, and if by some miracle it goes to extra innings, he would stay in the game to play left field. So Steve Henderson is on to try to extend the game. 2 outs, bottom of the 9th, 6-2 Giants. Holland 6-8, and that's a 1-4 triple. And had it been a left-hander, we're going to ballpark home run chance, and the game would have been over. But here, since a right-hander came in, they get the base hit. It's not a triple, it's just a single, but it will extend the game. So Steve Henderson, a pinch hit single, and that's why you bring the right-hander in there. He gets the pinch hit single, and that brings up Gary Woods. Gary Woods is up. Minton's still loosening, but he's not going to come in unless the Cubs get another base runner. Then he'll probably come in. But right now, Gary Woods is up. Check the havoc, nothing going on. Holland trying to end this thing with the pinch hitter Henderson at first and 2 down. Bottom of the 9th, 6-2 Giants. Woods 3-8 against the lefty, struck him out, and the ball game is over. So Al Holland finishes it out. The Giants win it by the score of 6-2, and they won the real game 2-1. This one they won 6-2, and winning pitcher is Rich Gale, and the losing pitcher is Doug Bird. No save in the game because the score was a 4-run differential. So a little bit different setup. I don't know how well it showed on camera or whatever, but I will go ahead now and bring the score sheet in, the finalized score sheet. You can kind of see sort of what's going on there. 6-2 the final. Big 3-run homer from Jack Clark was the difference to turn a 3-2 game into a 6-2 game. And you see the Giants actually won the real game 2-1. I believe each team committed at least 1 error, or did they? I think both errors might have been on the Giants, actually. I know they committed 2. Looks like the Cubs didn't commit any. We'll check the hits for the Giants. 1, 2. Oh, the Cubs did make an error. My bad. I thought they did. I thought Larry Bowa made an error, and he did. So hits 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 hits. So 6 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors for the Giants. And for the Cubs, 1, 2. I only have them for 3 hits. Do you believe that? They only got 3 hits. 2 runs on 3 hits. But there were 2 Giant errors and some walks thrown in. So final line score for the Giants, 6 runs, 10 hits, and 2 errors. For the Cubs, 2 runs, 3 hits, and 1 error. Winning pitcher, Rich Gale. Losing pitcher, Doug Bird. There you have it. June the 5th, 1982, as presented on June the 5th, 2021. And like I said, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I'll double check it, but I believe the next game is Cleveland and Boston on June the 12th from Fenway, but I will double check my schedule. I think that's what I have. Yep, Cleveland and Boston is the next game of the week on Saturday. However, as a surprise, if you want to call it that, we will actually on Monday, and that date is June the 7th, of course 2 days from today. June the 7th is the first game of ABC's Monday Night Baseball in the 1982 season. So we'll be playing that one from Comiskey Park. It'll be the Oakland A's and the Chicago White Sox as ABC's Monday Night Baseball debuted in 1982 on June the 7th. That was their inaugural game of the season. So what I'm going to do going forward, I'll still play 2 games a week. One's going to be the Saturday game of the week, or at least the ones I think should be. And one's going to be the Monday night, ABC Monday night. So I don't know, I've got the schedule tentatively set out. I might stick to it, might switch some games off, depending on how the standings go in the season. And actually, speaking of standings, what I'll probably do is for the next game, Cleveland and Boston, since we're into June, I'll go ahead and print the simulated standings by the Strat computer to see how all the teams are doing in this 82 replay. And we'll follow it all the way through to the end. So let's go do it from here. Hope you enjoyed that presentation of the NBC Game of the Week from June the 5th, 1982. Again, the Giants defeat the Cubs 6-2 from Wrigley. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it, and I will see you all down the road.